Welcome back to City Insider. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Manchester City Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Incredible, Romeo Lavia, £58 million Chelsea transfer, and Pep Guardiola's regret hint. Pep Guardiola admitted those at Manchester City had an incredible opinion of Romeo Lavia, but allowed him to leave because they couldn't guarantee him minutes. Now the young midfielder is closing on big money move to Chelsea. The young midfielder was allowed to leave the Etihad 12 months ago as he sought more game time and stood out in a Southampton side that suffered relegation. Despite their drop, Lavia's stock continued to rise, and there has been plenty of interest in him this summer. Despite Liverpool's efforts to land the Belgian, it looks as though he will move to Stamford Bridge in a £58 million deal. It means he will play for one of City's direct rivals, and Guardiola and co are under no illusion about his quality, having seen it firsthand, but felt they had to let the player move on. The Catalan admitted last season, "I am really impressed with what Romeo has done and is doing. We had, and we have, an incredible opinion about him. We thought to keep him, but maybe he would not get enough minutes like he has in Southampton." Lavia is set to bolster a midfield that already includes Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, two men who have moved to Stamford Bridge for British record fees, as Chelsea continue to spend huge sums under Todd Boehly. Man City star Aymeric Laporte fuels Arsenal transfer speculation. Aymeric Laporte has fueled speculation of an impending move to Arsenal by congratulating David Raya, who completed his move to the Gunners on Tuesday. The Spain international goalkeeper joined the North London club on an initial season-long loan and will provide major competition for Aaron Ramsdale, who has been the club's #1 since he usurped Bernd Leno. Raya represents Arsenal's fourth major signing of the summer following the arrivals of Kai Havertz, Jurrien Timber, and Declan Rice. Mikel Arteta, however, had already been keen to strengthen his defense before confirmation that Timber would be ruled out for months after he sustained knee ligament damage on his Premier League debut last weekend against Nottingham Forest. Laporte, as well as Crystal Palace's Marc Guehi, are understood to be on Arteta's radar, and the Manchester City star was clearly happy to see Raya complete his dream move to Arsenal yesterday with a message on Instagram. Laporte had been a mainstay of City's defense up until last season, when he was relegated to 5th choice following the signing of Manuel Akanji. Man City accept Aymeric Laporte transfer offer to avoid uncomfortable Arsenal approach. Manchester City are understood to have accepted a bid from Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr for defender Aymeric Laporte. The Spaniard has fallen out of favour at the Etihad Stadium, where he was once considered a staple, and now feels like the right time for the 29-year-old to move on to pastures new. Laporte has been attracting interest from Arsenal, but the Gunners are conscious that City are unlikely to conduct further business with their Premier League title rivals. Spurs have also been linked with Laporte, but it now looks as though he'll be heading to the Middle East. He has won 12 trophies in the Northwest, including 5 Premier League titles, following his transfer from the Basque Country back in January 2018. The Athletic are reporting that City have accepted an offer from Al Nassr for the former Athletic Club centre-back. The arrival of Josko Gvardiol has pushed Laporte even further down the pecking order, and now feels like the right time for City to sell. Should he agree to the move, Laporte would join a host of big-name stars at Al Nassr, not least Cristiano Ronaldo and Sadio Mane. The Riyadh-based outfit have also signed household names such as Marcelo Brozovic, Seko Fofana, and Alex Telles this summer. Laporte was a late substitute in City's opening day demolition of Burnley last Friday at Turf Moor. There has been growing optimism that Arsenal could test the water for the player, as Laporte is highly rated by his former coach Mikel Arteta. The Gunners have lost Jurrien Timber due to a knee injury and therefore need some additional cover and competition at left back and left centre back. Laporte ticks that box, but having sold Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko to Arsenal last summer, City are unlikely to conduct further business with their fellow title challengers who made huge strides last season. Liverpool could move for Manchester City player after recent developments. Liverpool are reportedly leaning towards reigniting their interest for Manchester City midfielder Calvin Phillips, having lost out on signing Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. According to the Daily Mail, the Reds could return for the England international, having this week suffered a double transfer blow, with Caicedo and Lavia both joining Chelsea despite strong links to Liverpool. As a result, The Anfield Giants are back in the market for a defensive midfielder, with Phillips now once again on Liverpool's agenda, having been linked with the Reds earlier in the window. Phillips signed for City last year in a £45 million deal, and despite being part of the treble-winning side, the midfielder hardly featured for Pep Guardiola due to injuries and fitness concerns. With Liverpool now back in for Phillips, there's a chance that the former Leeds United star could be tempted by a move to Merseyside, especially if the midfielder can become an instant starter. Indeed, whilst there could be some hesitancy from some Liverpool fans over signing a City player, it's easy to forget just how good Phillips was before moving to Manchester last year. Liverpool and City doing business feels as unlikely as it ever has done, yet if something can be done over Phillips, the Reds have to make that play in the coming weeks. The 27-year-old midfielder has the quality to star for Liverpool in the defensive midfield role left vacant by Fabinho and Jordan Henderson, and City might be willing to sell. Whilst interest is seemingly at an early stage, there's every chance that Liverpool could make a realistic approach to sign Phillips, who might be keen on a move to Anfield to reignite his career. Jeremy Doku has agreed personal terms with Manchester City. Manchester City have reportedly agreed personal terms with Rennes winger Jeremy Doku, but a Premier League rival want to hijack the deal. Doku, 21, has been on the radar of Europe's big hitters for a long time. Last season, he scored 7 goals in 35 games, and last week, Mailsport reported that Manchester City were eyeing a £50 million swoop for the Belgian international. City are in the market for a replacement for Riyad Mahrez, who left the club in a £30 million move to Al Ahly in July. However, West Ham have entered into discussions and have submitted a verbal offer to Rennes, coding to get French football news. West Ham have had a sluggish summer transfer window in terms of incomings and have seen their £30 million advance for Harry Maguire cave in. One would imagine they might have a hard time convincing Doku to give up the chance of playing for the treble winners, but the Hammers could offer the promise of more game time. Despite being prominent in European football, he first appeared for Anderlecht in 2018 aged 16. Such an offer could appeal to him as he looks to make a splash in English football, where he is a relative unknown. He started this League One season in thumping style as Rennes breezed past Metz 5-1. Doku got on the scoresheet and completed all 9 dribbles he attempted in an impressive showing. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.